and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen Marie and today I am going to do a Friday Sews video for you. So as you can see, I'm outside today. It is Friday morning and I'm drinking my coffee and I am actually off work today, which is great because this is the last weekend of the summer holidays for the girls. So next week it's all like full circus again, trying to get everyone back into their school routines and, you know, all of that jazz. So yeah, it's great to have a day off today so that we can actually get some things planned and organized before it all starts back up again on Monday. So it's Friday, as I said, day off work. You'll find me outside on my veranda drinking my morning coffee and it looks like it's going to be a really sunny, glorious day today, which is wonderful because of the last 2 days we've had really heavy rain. So everything in the garden is like really soppy and wet. And yeah, it is definitely autumny weather here now. So, you know, during June and July, I would have sat out here in, you know, my new dress without the jacket, but now in the shade I definitely need a jacket. So what am I wearing? I'm actually wearing my Maison Fauve PLR jacket, which I absolutely love. So you can see it has these really lovely darts up here and everything. It didn't, like, I should have used some fray check on the buttonholes there, but yeah, I never really use those pockets, so I'm going to make sure that they are all buttoned up. And yeah, it's really a lovely jacket to wear. I almost always wear it like with the rolled up sleeves, and it's a great summer jacket, but I don't wear it as much as I should because, well, I tend to wear a lot of jeans, and if I wear a pair of blue jeans and then, you know, wear it with a denim jacket, it's just a little too much denim in one go for me. Like there could be such a thing, but you know what I mean. So I tend to wear this jacket with dresses instead. I really want to make another PLR. This is very lightweight denim, so it's great for like a summer jacket or as an indoor jacket in the winter. But I would really like to make another PLR, but in a different color, so that I can actually like wear it more comfortably with my regular blue jeans. So that's going on my autumn plans. I'm still working on finalizing the list of things I want to make this autumn. So yeah, the autumn plans video is still coming. The other thing that I'm wearing is something I actually finished last night. So this is the first time I'm wearing it, and it is also the first time I made this pattern, and it is the Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress. I'm going to put in a little bit of a video here so you can see what it looks like on. And I was heavily inspired by Rachel from the French Seams and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl, who both have like showcased their Lottas lately. And when I looked at the pattern envelope for that pattern, I was, you know, not really into it, because even though the models look lovely, of course, I found that the styling on that was a bit frumpy. Can I say that? Is that allowed to say? And, you know, I was a bit worried that it might look like I'm older than I actually am with that kind of dress. And I don't tend to go for the sort of blousey look. But so far, I'm really in love with this Lotta dress. So obviously I've only worn it for a couple of hours, and I made it in this like bottle green viscose that I think I got from Selfmade quite a long time ago. I knew it when I bought it that it wasn't the best quality viscose. It was really very reasonably priced, and I knew that it wouldn't be like a really good viscose when I bought it, but I had intended to use it as a lining in a coat or a jacket. So I wasn't really too bothered that it was very wrinkly and everything, because I just wanted a lining. And I don't like those like acetate linings and everything, so I thought I'd just go for a viscose. But it's been in my stash for quite a while, and that jacket never really happened, so I decided to sort of make a wearable toile of the Lotta, and I'm really pleased that I did, because even though it's not a high quality viscose, it is very, very drapey, and it feels really swishy and lovely. The thing is though that because it's kind of a not the best quality viscose, it crinkles like mad. So I had quite a job trying to iron it while I was sewing it, because I put one pattern piece aside while I was working with another, and by the time I took it up again, it was all creased again, etc. So I don't think this is going to be one of those dresses that I reach for a lot when I'm going out, because I know that it'll be just ironing all the time. But if I do decide to wear it to like work, I'm probably going to use some spray starch and everything to just help it, not crease quite as quickly. But yeah, this is going to be sort of more of a walking around the house and going to the shops kind of dress, I think. But it's very, very comfortable, and I like it so much actually that I'm thinking that I might actually cut out a Lotta in very precious to me fabric from Nerda Hansen. I've had that on my sort of use soon fabric pile because I love it so much, but I also didn't want to make something that I hadn't made before because I was so scared to cut into it. But yeah, I'm thinking that might become like a outside of the house Lotta dress. So yeah, and because the Lotta is such an easy make, it took me like no time to whip it up. I think that's going to be moving quite, ahead in the queue for things I want to make. Sorry about the background noise, because, this moment I start filming, traffic increases, the wind picks up, etc. It's just classic, isn't it? So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that I've actually made a little bit of progress on my jeans. As you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I'm doing a jeans collab with Rachel from the French Seams, and I have fabric for it that I want to use. But since I'm making some adjustments to the fit of my jeans, I thought I wanted more of that exact same fabric so that I could, sort of mess around with the fit a little bit before I sort of go into the final pair that's going to be released and revealed with Rachel in September. However, I wasn't able to secure more of that exact same fabric, and I was in Oslo on Monday with my youngest and my elder sister, and we met up with my younger sister and her daughter and everything. And then I had a cheeky little stop in at Selfmade where I was able to purchase some more denim. I did buy the closest thing that I could get to the actual fabric that I'm going to use for the sort of final version of the jeans. And it is a little more lightweight. The one that I'm going to make the sort of final pair in is a 12-ounce denim with 2% elastane, if I remember correctly. And the one that I could secure from Selfmade this week was a 10.5-ounce denim with a 2% elastane. However, the feel is totally different, and it's much more stretchy than the one that I'm going to make the final pair in. So I'm not sure that it's going to work out exactly the way that I want it here, but I decided to make the Ash jeans in that new fabric from Selfmade anyway, and make these small adjustments and see, and hopefully that will also work in the final version, even though it is a different weight fabric, if that makes sense. So I am going to put in a little bit of footage from yesterday when I was in my sewing room and cutting out the jeans. Yeah, okay. Here goes. Okay, so here I am in my sewing room, and I have found the pattern pieces for my Megan Nielsen Ash jeans. As you can see, it's pretty battered. I've been making them several times. So this time I thought I would go for the slim leg. I have made this slim leg version a few times before, quite a few times. But lately I've made more of the wide legged option, and that's obviously separate pattern pieces. So yeah, but I'm going to go for the slim leg this time because I have quite a few wide leg trousers in my closet at the moment anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go for the slim leg version, but I'm going to widen it just a teeny bit because they fit my legs better that way. So I am going to widen that a little bit, but the main thing that I'm going to go for this time is that I'm going to, this is the back, and I'm going to scoop out a little bit on this curve, not much, just a teeny bit, to give me a little more room in the seat. So I'm going to keep this point, but I'm going to scoop in just a little bit here. And then I'm going to add that onto the side seam. So otherwise my trousers would be, you know, smaller. And I'm going to add that on just here to give me a little like more room on this side and a little more room in the seat itself. So that's what I'm going to do with this version. Now, I couldn't find, unfortunately, the exact same denim that I'm going to use for my sort of final version. But I found like a similar weight and a similar stretch. But this is a little more lightweight and a little more stretchy. So it's not, unfortunately, going to be exactly the same. And I'll explain more about that. But yeah, this time I am going to sort of try it out with the scoop and the adding on the side there. I'm not going to do any alterations on the front, but I am considering using the pocket pieces for the ginger jeans and sort of adapting them to fit with the Ash jeans, you know, pocket opening and everything, because the pattern piece for the pocket for the Ash is just a one piece, and then you sort of fold it back over itself, and that's easier and it, you know, works well. But what I really like about the ginger jeans pockets is that the pocket stay sort of goes all the way into the zipper that's going to be here, and that means that you get a little more like support in the belly area. I mean, it doesn't hold you in or anything, but it just feels really like safe and comfortable, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do at the moment now is to try to make these little changes to the pattern. I'm not sure whether, I mean, if I was to do this properly, I would like trace the whole thing, and I might do that, or I might just sort of play around with the scoop just a little bit and actually cut it out more or less like true to the pattern, but then do a bigger scoop with the seam. I might do that there and then just add that on right there. So the only thing that otherwise that it's like quite important to remember is that denim is of course a twill weave. So the kind of lines go diagonally like this. And that means that you need to be careful when you cut things out, because first of all, you need to be considering the grain line. So I'm going to be using my quilting ruler, and I'm going to line that up with the raw edge of my selvage, and then make sure that the pattern piece is, you know, that the grain line is like matching up parallel with the quilting ruler. And I'm going to cut out one back and one front this way. Then I'm going to flip it over and then turn it 180 degrees and cut the other like two pairs out that way, because otherwise you might end up with a twisted leg on your jeans, and you know, we don't want that. So I'm going to do the cutting now, and I'll figure out whether I want the pockets, pocket adjustments for the ginger, or whether I'll just sew it up as it is. The thing about the using a different pocket pattern is that there's a different zip insertion on this pattern than it is on the ginger, because the ginger jeans has the sort of the pocket the zip extension, or the fly extension, like already on there, and this doesn't, because that's a separate pattern piece. So it makes the construction of the zip a little bit different, and the pocket stay that goes into the zipper isn't really designed for that kind of zipper insertion, if that makes sense. But I'm going to play around with it a little bit and see what I can manage. Yeah, okay, that was me talking about cutting out my jeans, and it was a lot easier with my new cutting table. I'm going to stop talking about how jazzed I am about my new cutting table soon, I promise. But it's so lovely to be able to stand while I cut these things out. Okay, I had to save that moment just a little bit longer. So yeah, I did cut it out, and I did manage to make the back pockets and attach the back yokes. And this time I am doing the contrasting top stitch, so it takes a lot longer, because then that means I have to, you know, switch the top stitching thread and everything all the time, so it takes a little longer. The instructions for the ash tell you to start with the front, and while, you know, I get that, because then you can get sort of the zip and everything out of the way. I do like to start with the back, actually, because that means I can sort of practice with the top stitching thread and length in some, you know, areas that are a bit easier to do the top stitching. So I'd like to start with the back and get that done. And then when I move on to the front legs and everything, then, you know, the top stitching that's curved and very visible, like the front pockets, I've sort of gotten back into it then, by then. I hope that makes sense. So I did make both the back legs with the yoke and the pockets, and then I did start on the front by attaching the pockets. I know I said in the clip that I was going to try the ginger jeans pockets, because I like those sort of stays, pocket stays version, that sort of way you sew the pockets into the zip, if that makes sense. But I found out that I hadn't actually the right pocket pattern pieces for the ginger cut out, because the ash is sort of a mid-rise, and the ginger jeans versions I've sewn up are high-waisted, so I need the pocket stays or patterns for the low-rise gingers to make that work. So I decided to just move ahead with the original pattern piece for the pockets, and I sewed the pockets in and did the top stitching, and then I did start to attach the zipper. I'd use a different method for inserting this zipper now, because I find that on the Ash Jeans original way of installing the zipper, it tends to poke out just a little bit, and I'm not a fan of that. So I do use another method for that, and I'm going to link those instructions in the final review video and everything, so you can see how I do it. Okay, so to summarize, I have only been sewing like one complete thing this week, and that was the Lotta that I'm wearing, and I've started on the jeans, yeah, I think that was it for this week. And you know, please, if you have any comments or questions about this whole jeans sewing thing, feel free to leave them below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And I do really hope that you intend to join me and Rachel for this jeans adventure. And if you do, please do remember to use the hashtag #SewJeansWithUs on Instagram so that we can see your progress. Okay, have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I'll see you later. Bye.